I'm scared. That's fucking disgusting, bro. Like, that's crazy to think, right? This is marijuana. That's in my lungs. Our body detoxes this. This comes out of our pores. Imagine all the food and everything else, right? But cigarettes. This is marijuana where it's better for you compared to cigarettes. I remember that commercial trying to say that marijuana was 10 times more worse than cigarettes. I don't think so, bro. Whoever fucking made that commercial, fucking stupid. But I'm over here fucking waiting for the dispensary to open to get a cartridge. You know, I got $30, but I want to go back to that gas station where the good gas is and get gas. So I'm going to throw 20 in because I got a quarter tank. That way I get around today. I don't know what I'm about to do other than read the Bible in a minute and smoke. Listen, this fucking bong, bro. This bong hasn't been cleaned since the house. Since the last time this bong was clean, if y'all have been following me, is when my friend, my boy, remember there's no friends, my boy, association, right? Gave me that weed. I went over there with $20, right, to get an eighth. I ended up walking away from his house with like 2 ounces of fucking shake, of like 3 different weed, like different kinds of weed, all mixed together, like bud, you know, shake, stems and whatnot. I smoked all of that, obviously, but I smoked a lot of it in this bong, which I never smoked flower or, you know, bud out of that bong before. It was simply just wax, which kind of, I didn't really want to, but because it gives that taste, you get a different bong water taste. But you know, it's a bong, you know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do sometimes, right? I was all right with it. But here I am. I haven't cleaned it since then, so it has all the resin from the flower, and then it has all the wax that was fucking dripping down on top of the fucking resin from the flower, which that resin is going to be watery. So it's about to snap, crackle, and pop like crazy, but I'm about to be toasted, and then we're going to re-luke. Yeah. That's what we're about to do. I burnt the fucking wall, my fucking storage unit with the fucking torch, like an idiot. Tells you how bright I am. I'm over here telling everybody how fucking stupid my fucking family is. And here I am fucking being stupid myself, burning the fucking wall. There's a difference between ignorance and just stupid. Listen, they were being ignorant on purpose. They were justifying not to take care of my cat, not to look after my cat. I don't understand how hard it was for them just to simply chuck up on the cat. They've been home all day. They both don't work. They sit at home all day. They do nothing. I'm serious. They do nothing at all. Period. All day. All they do is eat and watch the news, and that's it. That's it. It's sickening. And then tell me I'm not doing anything with my life. And then when I go to show them, they didn't even care to know. They didn't want to know. I don't want to see the phone. I don't want to see the YouTube. I don't want to see the Facebook. I don't want to see your money in the account. I don't want to see your Bitcoin. I don't want to see your bank account number. I don't want to see anything. I don't care. I don't want you around here. I never did anything to them. Ever. Nothing. And they would sit there and tell me when I was younger, like I said, that they would make me feel bad. Like I'm supposed to be there. Like I chose a different family and they're upset with me because of it, that I'm fucked up because of it. No. You chose not to have me in your family. You drove your own son away. Your own son is back in Poland. Your own son became a drug addict, and I know why now. Because they did the same thing to him that they did to me. Now I know why. I see it. Now that I'm older, right? Now I understand why my father would drag me from dope house to dope house and not come back to that house until nighttime, until everybody was sleeping. It's the only time he came there. Unless it was to get money, or to eat, or to cuss at them. And I know why. Because they never communicate with each other. They never were a family. They were all broken. They were all fucked up, even when they came over here. And what's crazy is they berate my father, my real father, right? And my aunt talks like he's some type of piece of shit, right? That he's never done anything with his life. And all this other stuff, right? But that man has showed me more love, alright, when I was younger than any of them all put together my entire life. Listen, all they know how to do, this is the same thing Mike did. Hand you money. That's it. Everything was about money. It's always about money. Every single thing. The first thing I'd step in the door, money. Crazy to me. They have money. They just sold that shop that was paid off. Their house is paid off. All those cars in the driveway, they're not making payments on any of those. My Uncle Mark does government contracting, does CNC contracting for the military. Makes wheels, makes giant fucking aluminum, one piece CNC'd, all one piece aluminum, steel, titanium wheels for the fucking tanks, for their fucking military fucking fleet, their trucks. You think my uncle's not loaded? And if he isn't, he's living outside of his means. Therefore, don't be bitching about money. That's your fault. Learn how to make more. You're very intelligent. You run a CNC machine. You know how to program a CNC machine. And here's this man trying to say that because they had some mail or something like that, or somebody called, right, a few years ago, my name somehow, I got some mail sent to their house, right? Somehow mail got sent to the house, right? In my name, right? You know what they did? They started spreading lies and rumors, assuming, right, I'm trying to steal their credit cards or hack their bank accounts or get money from them. I've never done such a thing, ever. And God knows this. And I had to deal with this for years. They said I did this. And I would always tell them, show me. Prove it. They could never do it. It was, we hired a detective. What? Their shop got broken into, right? The one that they sold. It's in Brightmoor. Okay? They're trying to say that I did it. I didn't do it. And if my family did it, I am not aware of it. And it's not my fault if they did do it. How is that my fault? That would be your fault for allowing your son to meet my family and let them know where your shop is. That has nothing to do with me. But they blame me for all of it because their shit got stolen. There's buildings in Detroit and they have tons of tools in there and all those cars in there. You think it's not going to get broken into? The fuck, man. That's why they sold it, which, whatever. Oh yeah, I showed you guys I would get you guys some sound of the exhaust between here. The car sounds nice. It sounds really loud, actually. It has a little leak, so it needs a gasket, but it's only leaking at the bottom, and you can actually, it's just a little gap. I'm about to go buy that fucking putty. Because you can hear it, and it sounds like a little bubble machine. It's irritating. But obviously when you get on it, you know what I mean, you start going, you don't hear it because, you know, the sound of the car sounds so sexy, it overtones it, but you still can hear it when you're at the light, you know, that type of thing. So it's just like a little crease, like a little gap. I'm going to go get that JB Weld that silver stuff, that muffler stuff, you mix it, you know what I mean? I'm going to pack it in there and let it harden. I'm going to do that tonight. When I get some money tonight from deliveries, I'll climb up underneath there. And then when right after I'm done delivering tonight, when it's hot, I'll go up underneath there and I'll pack it up under there. Yeah. So, hopefully I don't have a warrant for my arrest from Dearborn because people are stupid. I don't believe my uncle actually called the cops. He said he called the cops. And what's crazy, right? I punched the door. I didn't really punch the door. I put my hand through the door. I don't punch unless I'm really fighting. I use my base of my palm when I fight. I'll show you guys. When I hit people, I hit them like that. I don't have time to... I'm not going to square up with you, you know what I mean, and give you a chance to set yourself and get on the offensive. Why would I ever square up with you and start barking my mouth and give you any advantage? No. I'm going to walk up. The first thing I'm doing is hitting up. This is the button. You hit this as hard as you can. It's quick. Quick snap them really fast. Listen, whenever you fight, hit them right here. Quick, right here with the palm, just pop. There's a nerve in your jaw. When you hit like that so quick, it sends a signal, a shock, and it makes you go blind. It knocks you the fuck out. It's called the night-night button. Real quick. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll go up, and as I come up, right, I'm coming up, and I'm turning, so, right, I'm coming in, the chin, right, and I'm backing away, like that. I'm coming up and out with my elbow. So not only are you going the night up, you're getting cracked, too, with your fucking elbow, and you're going right to the fucking ground. I've done this many times. I'm telling you. Up, down. And as you come around, bring your weight down. Get on top of them. Hug them. Get on top of them. Wrap your feet around them. Wrap your arms around their neck. Roll over. Snap the fucking neck. That's how you do it. Real quick. Think I'm fucking playing. That's how you do it. You don't say nothing. Let me find I'm looking for my nimble. I like that Jeep over there. I keep on fucking eyeing it. And these are my favorite Jeeps, by the way. Jeep Cherokee, and the reason why, it's a square body. It was the lightest Jeep they ever made. It's simple like this, right? It's simplified. Everything's simplified, right? It's got a full solid axle in the front, solid axle on the back this person put. It's got a winch, an actual fucking full-size fucking metal bumper, a cow killer, and it's light. The Jeep Cherokees that year, that body style, it's dirt cheap. It's probably the cheapest Jeep you can get into if you're trying to get into the four-wheeling scene. If you're getting into a Jeep. The truck that I had, the GMT 400, is going to be a little bit cheaper when it comes to getting parts. And that's why I bought it. And I'm surprised at how many people don't actually build them to off-road. It's because they're so big. Even the two-door Yukon is, which if you get the two-door Yukon or the two-door Tahoe, that's the desirable one. That would be the one to build, the GMT 400, which is, you know, one of my favorite vehicles. But that, I don't know, I've always loved those Cherokees. If I owned a Jeep, that would be the Jeep that I would purchase to build. Those are the only ones worth building to me. So we'll go grab the Nimball. And what I'll do is I'll grab, you know what, I'll just grab the other phone. I was gonna use this phone. I do gotta grab the Nimball because I wanna put, I'm slow, man. I'm tired. I haven't slept. I wanna call off work today, to be honest with you. I want to. But then I'm not gonna have no money. So I can't. I gotta be able to eat and whatnot, you know? It's saying 2 hours to upload. It never takes that long. But it's also because I've used so much data this month. And what's crazy is it doesn't switch over to the 14th. So it's only been half through the month. This month, and I've already used that much data this month. That's insane. See, like, what? Every video, you're talking 934 megabytes, and that was just a 15-minute video. You know, these hour videos are fucking 9 gigabytes in HD, in full HD. And this phone, the camera's nice. Camera's amazing. They had great cameras. Microphone shit. This phone, shitty fuck cameras. The microphone is great. So I'm just gonna use this one. You guys can hear the sound of it. Cause I gotta set up the camera, put it somewhere close, and then start up and hit the gas, you know? Telling you, I'm so out of it right now. I want to just sleep. The only thing I want right now, to be honest with you, which I hate saying that because when people say that in like interviews and stuff, I hear people say that to me in interviews. To be honest with you, I'm like, so what? You've been lying the whole time? I'm just, you know, joking. But I want to be with Margot. I want to be with Margarita. That's the only person I want to be with. It's the only person in this world that loved me for my heart, for the child in my heart, for that fire that Jesus rekindled, which is who I was when I was a child, that I lost because of everything that I've been recording and talking about and putting perspective on. And that's what the channel's about as well. If you really, really, really want to understand what the channel is about, all you have to do is go scroll through all the fucking stupid ass videos that I uploaded, go all the way down to the bottom, which no one does, and watch my first video. Then you'll know exactly what the purpose is for the channel, what it is I'm going to be doing, And then start watching from there, because every video leads into the next one. And if you have answers or questions, I mean, most likely I've already answered it. You just got to watch the video. So please don't just start doing this on my channel, because it won't get responded to. And if it does get responded to, you won't like the response. I want to wash my car, but then that's less money I have for gas. That gas I got, whatever gas I got it from 7 Mile and Inkster last night. The BP. Yeah, it was BP, white and green. Don't go there. Their fuel, literally, listen, I only drove for a minute, a hot second, and I used a quarter tank of gas. Quick. I go to that other gas station, I can drive a whole day and use a quarter tank of gas. And you guys see how I drive. That's crazy to me. That's a hell of a difference. People are, I'm telling you, there's so much scamming, shady shit going on. It's unreal. And it probably might not even be something shady. It's probably something simple because they're fucking lazy and don't change the filters and whatnot. Who knows what it is? Either way, I'm the one that's getting fucked over at the end of the day, the end user. That's why I try to consciously make an effort to see what gas stations and whatnot. Because I drive so much, I spend so much on fuel, it's important to me. Just like Starbucks, like using the app and whatnot. This phone I'm using right now that I'm talking on, for so long I couldn't put apps on it because I'm uploading. It's the only phone I had. I'm doing all this recording and whatnot. And as soon as you put apps on the phone's all fucking slow. All that other bullshit. So that's why I got the other phone. And then here's that phone being a piece of shit anyway. So what does it matter, right? So it's on there. I'm gonna go ahead and start her up and just do a couple revs with it, and it does have an exhaust leak, so I gotta fix that like I mentioned. But the reason why I'm doing it is because it's between these sheds right here, which I'll leave it open. I wanted to close it so it reflect good, but it should be enough. It sounds good. I still don't know what model exhaust system it is. I have no idea. And it looks like it was when it was installed, they modified the exhaust somewhat to make it work. So it might be an actual exhaust system that actually is made for another vehicle or another type of Focus. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't really listened, man. I've been focused on other stuff. I haven't dove into this car that much yet. I've only dove into it enough to know that she's a special ride. Hopefully the fucking starter, I gotta replace the starter, the alternator, still haven't done none of that shit. Let me tell you, that whatever starter's on there is a beast. So she's warmed up. She idles like a little bit above 1.5. I mean 1 and like 1100, I mean not 1.5, like 1100. Which if you look at the tip, I like the way it looks too. usually when you see those the cheap tips, they don't have that the way it's coned, you know, the way it's ovaled out. I'm sure that has a lot to do with why it sounds so good. But she goes all the way down. She has 2 cats on there. She's got 1 cat in the front and then 1 cat in the middle. It looks like it's just 2-inch or maybe 2.5 all the way through mostly. There's the muffler right there, which is literally right behind me on my seat. That's why it sounds so good to me too. You know, I can hear it, which is really nice because it helps with driving. You know, it helps hearing the motor, and since the muffler is right there resonating behind me, like right underneath my butt, I can feel it too. You know, I really have a sense of the vehicle, its spirit, its, you know, its essence. Which, another reason why the car sounds so good before I rev it is because, one, it's a Borla exhaust. Borla, listen, I've had HKS high flow exhaust systems. I've had the cheap A-Bait stuff. I've had Magnaflow. I've had Flowmaster. I've had a lot of them. I've had that Apexi N1 exhaust. Listen, this Borla exhaust system, whatever Borla exhaust system on this car, the reason why I like it so much is because it's quiet. It's only loud when you get on it, but it's not annoying racket. Like all those fucking Nissan Skylines and 350Zs and Infinities that are running around here with those fucking loud ass fucking, it's too much. Plus, if you're speeding, you're never gonna get away from the fucking cop. The cop's gonna be able to hear you fucking 2 miles down simply at idle. Don't make any sense to me. People don't think. They just want to look cool. What's funny is they think they're cool. So this is why, honestly, the car sounds so sexy. Another reason why I bought this car, right? I've owned a lot of cars where I've had engines and done modifications. It's very hard to get a V8 to have equal length headers because you got 2 sets. It's not hard if you have a lot of room. But the car I was looking for and what I was trying to do, I'm going to travel and save money, right? Trying to be as cheap as possible. There's not very many cars that would have space or even have, you know, an equal length header like that other than Hondas, you know what I mean? And 4 cylinders mostly. But this is it. That's why she sounds so sexy. But she doesn't leak at all. Over here, she leaks down there. Which I want to put my racing cover back on, but I got to get new plugs. I got to get new plugs and wires. It had some aftermarket plugs. The car was backfiring, spitting, no power, falling into space, everything. It wouldn't idle, you turn on the fucking heat, it would die, all that shit. They were like, they didn't know what was going on, which confused me, because the person worked for Ford, but I think he was a paper pusher, was a consultant. He wasn't a mechanic, okay? That was the issue for him. He was willing to let go of this car because his son was overseas and the mom was driving. transmission in this car was really bad, and they couldn't figure it out. And all it was the plugs and wires. The motor was filling up with fuel. This cylinder number 1, was filling up with fuel, and it was mixing with the oil. So it was only a 3-cylinder in a sense. And then you have that cylinder filling up with fuel all the time. It's not detonating, it's not getting, it's not burning up the fuel. So the fuel, the gas is just going in there, and then it's slipping between the piston and the rings, right? And it's getting in the oil and mixing up. That was the issue. But we'll go ahead and rev it a couple times. Alright, she sounds like a fucking crotch rocket. Listen, I've owned a lot of cars, right? My favorite movies are Fast and Furious. I've owned many 240s. I've worked on many cars. I've built many cars, right? The first movie, Fast and Furious, right? Brian Supra. When he's coming off towards the end of the movie, right? And you hear the exhaust of that car in the movie, towards the end of the movie. It's what this reminds me of. And that's why I'm so in love with this car, honestly. Because of the pedigree, of what it is, and the sound of it. For a 4-cylinder, front-wheel drive car, probably the best car I've owned. I'm being honest. Seriously, it's my favorite. Hands down. Hands down, my favorite car. And it surprises me because it's front-wheel drive. I can't drift in it unless I pull the e-brake and drag the ass end around type of stuff. It's not really drifting, it's just sliding, tearing up the car. So I'm really going to be setting this car up, obviously, to cross the country, make it really reliable. But it's going to be set up for, time attack, front-wheel drive. It's always going to be set up for track type style, cornering, ducking, and dodging. And since I don't have the Cat anymore, I'm not getting a Cat till I get the boat. I'm still obviously putting the lithium-ion batteries and stuff in there, so there's going to be no cat litter, no cat box, all that stuff. So now I have room to do things for it, other things, and it will be not as heavy. Because I was about to build like a little wooden cat house type shit. So now it's just going to be YouTube travel agent show car that people will be able to, go in there with me and all that stuff. I'll take them. I plan on picking up people and taking them on trips with me here and there and stuff. Talking, all that stuff. People that are willing to help me to do some things on my boat, or maybe I can help them come over their house, help them. I'm looking for work. If you're somebody that can provide me with a meal, a place to stay for like a week or so, and some nice hard-earned cash, legit legality work, I can do anything you need me to do. Contact me. 734-833 3341, and my email is jayski89@gmail.com. I check my emails all day. So I'm looking for investors, all that stuff. It won't be long until this YouTube blows up. My first Facebook has already went viral and it got hacked, which I'll be getting that back as well eventually. Which the government has it. I promise you, the government is the one that hacked my phone, hacked my Facebook, both phones, and got me to believe that I had a job for Samsung and put $1,000 into a Bitcoin just to get a picture of me, which I still have all that money in my Bitcoin. Because you just put the money in the machine. Along with many other things that I invest in Bitcoin-wise, which I'll be making videos, all that stuff. What do you think this is for? It's got money on it, a lot of money. That's why it's right there on the cross. I pray I never lose it. That's why it stays right there. I'd rather risk it being right there than anywhere else. I don't give a fuck about making a video. Come smash my windshield or come and grab it. You can't do anything with it. It's encrypted. It's locked down. You'll be wasting your time. Catch yourself a charge. Real quick. Alright, we're going to read the Bible because I want to leave soon. It's going to be getting that time where I can actually go get a cartridge and then get gasoline. I don't have a cat to take care of anymore, which is fucking me up, but it's going to make things simpler. I'm lonely. I don't have nothing to run to or take care of, like responsibility wise, like that type of thing, So here I am, just back to square one, word again, back to race. Basically, I asked God for a cat that I just fucking killed, in a sense. It's fucking... Life never makes sense sometimes, man. It doesn't. Here I am, happy about my car, making videos and stuff. My fucking cat just died, like... Stupid, man. It's fucking stupid. I watched my fucking cat. Listen, I brought my cat back to life last night, right? On that heater, my cat started breathing really, really, really hard. She had a heart attack, passed away. I watched my cat have a heart attack. And then piss on me. I held it, crying. It let its bowels out on me. That's when I walked into the house. What's crazy, right? I didn't forcefully just, fuck you, blah, blah, blah. I didn't do that. That wall was so thin, that door was so thin, my grandmother's door was so thin. I went like this, like, you stupid, I'm fucking leaving, fuck you, you stupid bitch, I'm never coming back here again. That fucking door fell down, like that bitch went down. I put that on God. I come away from my grandma's door to leave, right? Here's my uncle coming up behind me, putting his hands on me, trying to push me out the house. So that's when I was like, you know what, you put your hands on me? I wanted to hurt him. I should have. As he's pushing me out the house, I broke the back door off the hinges. I broke that bitch. I ripped it off the hinges in one yank. Ah! Got in my car. Grabbed everything. My jack is still there. That's the only thing I didn't grab. I didn't feel like grabbing it. I wanted to leave because he's saying he called the cops. I just wanted to go. You put your hands on me, bro. I never put my hands on you. I was invited into that home, so everyone knows. Everyone knows I was invited into that home. This is why I record everything. I didn't do no home invasion. No. I didn't put my hands on nobody. The only thing they can charge me for is destruction of private property. Which the only thing they can charge me for is that door, those 2 doors. If my uncle presses charges on me, which he has no marks on him because I didn't touch him, on my daughter and on God and myself, I did not touch that man. Other than try to keep him from hurting me and tell him stop touching me. And that's the truth. So if I end up in jail because of that family, because of a warrant, and I'm gone for 90 days, you guys know why. Or 93 days. I'll be back in 93 days. Worst case scenario. It's a misdemeanor. I'm not on parole or anything. I'm not on paper or anything like that. I'm scot-free. I have my freedom. That's why I have no problem taking off on somebody real fucking quick. I will go do my 90 days. Press charges on me. I'm going to press charges on you. We'll go through the court system. You're going to have a wire jaw if you're not fucking totally fucked up. And it's all going to be because you started it first. You put your hands on me, which will be self-defense. So I'm simply just going to do time because they want to make me do time because they want money. That's it. And that's all it will be for. Which means, again, the system's fucked. And, again, I'm being used. I'm being Listen, man, this country shit, it doesn't matter what country in this world, people. It's people. It's the spirit of evil. They're possessed. They like to be in that spirit. That's who they are. They enjoy it. Which, I want to smoke some more before we read. Now that we got exhaust systems and all this other stuff. I gotta go put this change up real quick. And I forgot to put my receipts in my thing. So, receipts, go in back pocket. I'll take care of that later. Change goes in there, which goes in the car. Somehow I gotta modify a coffee maker or find a travel coffee maker that I can install in my car. It's gonna be the sweetest thing ever. I'm surprised they don't have that in most cars this day. Telling you, dude, all these high-end cars, if they put coffee makers in them, they would sell so fast. Oh my lord, that is disgusting. Wow. Huh. Bro. Oh my god. Listen, I got a buzz from last hit, but I'm not, I got a good buzz still, but I want to get, we're about to have some really high conscious thinking in a second, because we're going to be reading the Bible. We got to be up there, with the Lord, so time to smoke. All right, shit. Come on, baby. I need you today, Lord. Listen, the shit she knows, he already knew, he knew. He told me. I knew it was probably gonna happen before I left. But what's crazy, right, is I knew she was in so much pain for me fucking sitting on her. I didn't want to bring her in the car. I knew that she'd be better off at home and she would die in peace. Not in my car fucking sweating, fucking hot, being tossed around. My cat was in trauma. And my Polish family didn't understand or care. Every time I asked them for anything, they just always, I don't have it. Like that tape. If you watch the video, I told them, you got some tape? I don't have tape. I gotta yell at them all the time. Kick my feet like a little kid for them to do anything. If I don't, they won't even do it. They always come up with an excuse. I don't have it. I don't know. But it's right there in front of them. I gotta burn all this black shit off a lot. Like, it's a habit. Because it gives you a really bad fucking, like, char taste. It's gross. And the only way to get all that black soot off the quartz by burning it up. And what it is, it's the black soot from, you know, the extracting process, the gas, the fuel. That's what it is. It's all the carbon. And carbon stinks. I gotta get a new piece soon, man. It's about the bottom's gonna fall out eventually, I swear. Because I'm getting it too hot, I think. That was good. That was like a real nice long draw. I actually got a real good hit that time. Like, I filled up my lungs. I just got a Craftsman 15/16 made in the USA, forged. This is old. This is old Craftsman. They don't make shit like that no more. I should leave it out there, but for the person, but I don't need somebody. I picked it up because somebody's gonna drive over and fuck up something. It's too big, or big to really fuck up a tire. But what could happen though is it could pop up, get wedged up in here, right between this spoke, come around, hit this, bend the fucking spoke, break the caliper, all that shit. That GMT 400 I had, I was going down 96. I picked up something. That bitch came up in the wheel, caught the spoke, snapped, got wedged inside of the wheel and made a fucking big ass groove on the inside of the wheel. And then somehow, like, I pulled over, like, I went to go pull over because it was making a bunch of noise. I'm like, fuck, like, it felt like the wheel was about to lock up. And I got out, and then there was nothing there. Just a big ass groove and a fucking, like, big ass fucking mark on fucking the inside of the wheel. I don't know if it was a pipe or what. I was like, it can't be a stick to do that. It had to have been something metal. So probably some rebar, who knows, I was looking down the road, but I was in the freeway, You're looking in your cars, what the fuck? Get in the car, keep on going. Everything was fine this end, just wheels all fucked up. Alright. Turn this thing off. So we got a quick off in about 10 minutes. 15 minutes. Which I'm gonna go to get gas get a cartridge, and then I'm gonna go to Planet Fitness and work out. So I gotta get food. I gotta get food in between there too. I'll probably take you guys to get food with me. So, which means I'm not gonna get 20 bucks in gas. I'm gonna get 10 bucks in gas, which definitely means I gotta go to that place. Which is crazy, right? I'm going far as fuck out of my way to get that gas, right? But I put $10 in it, and it would be like putting $20 in my car. That's what's insane. Which gives me half a tank of gas, which in this car gives me like 150 miles. I get like 30 miles to the gallon at least, 28, something like that. Most of the time. I don't really drive this car hard. When you guys see me drive, that's for the video. Or because I'm taking off somewhere because of the cat. That's honestly what it was the last 2 days. Why I've been speeding is the cat. That's the only reason why I have those videos of me flying like that. It's because of my cat. Just so everyone knows. The cat that's passed away, the cat that just died because of a fucking ignorant family. That's been like this my whole life. That did this to their own. Listen, my real dad that's in Poland, they did the same thing. And they try to blame it on me. This whole thing, right? It's me. The whole time. They say everything is my fault. Everything's a problem. Like, there's not one thing I've ever been able to get. Like, I don't understand why everything has to be a problem. Everything. I ask for something, it's a problem. I talk about my dreams. It's a problem. They don't want to hear it. I talk about my life or try to do something. They don't want to hear it. They don't understand it. Simply because they don't care. Because if they cared, they would take the time to listen. My family don't care. They don't call me. They don't care what it is I'm doing. None of them call me. None of them. But they all watch my YouTube and watch my Facebook. Look at my Facebook. It's fucking stupid. Everyone does this. They don't talk to each other, but they watch each other's shit. The fuck is wrong with people, man? It wasn't like that in the 90s, man, before the internet. Tell you that. People called on their phones. Friends used to call on the phone. So I say there's no such thing as friends anymore, man. It really isn't. If you have a few, 5 people in your life that call you every day, those aren't friends. That's family. I guarantee they're closer to you than any other family member has ever been in your life. And that's why they're in your life. That's why I say there's no such thing as friends. The Bible says that Jesus didn't come to bring families together, but to destroy families and bring God's family together. It's what it says. If you break it down. If you break down what Jesus said in one of his parables. Or many of the parables of his teachings. Which means, if he came to destroy families, right? To bring God's family together, that means there's only one thing. There's only a family. There's only God's family, because everything else is going to be destroyed. It's that simple. Be a simpleton. So let's go. You know how you be a simpleton? You love your neighbor as you love yourself. That's simple. So we're driving, prepared his way, screaming at everybody, telling everybody fucking You know, you're coming down here to get baptized, to look good, to be cool in front of everybody because it's the cool thing to do. It's not. You're not coming down there to be cleansed of your heart. You're not coming down there to change by any means. So he says, and then what shall we do? And he answered them, whoever has 2 tunics is to share with him who has none, and whoever has food is to do likewise. Tax collectors also came to be baptized and said to him, Teacher, what shall we do? And he said to them, Collect no more than you are authorized to do. Soldiers also asked him, and we, what shall we do? And he said to them, Do not extort money from anyone by threats or by false accusation, and be content with your wages. As the people were in expectation, and all were questioning in their hearts concerning John, whether he might be the Christ, John answered them all, saying, I baptize you with water, but he who is mightier than I is coming, the strap of whose sandals I am not worthy to untie. He will baptize you with the Holy Spirit and fire. His winnowing fork is in his hand to clear his threshing floor, and to gather the wheat into his barn, but the chaff he will burn with unquenchable fire. So with many other exhortations he preached good news to the people. But Herod, who had been reproved by him for Herodias, his brother's wife, and for all the evil things that Herod had done, added this to them all, and he locked up John in prison. Now when all the people were baptized, and when Jesus also had been baptized, and was praying, the heavens were opened, and the Holy Spirit descended on him in bodily form, like a dove, and a voice came from heaven, You are my beloved Son. With you I am well pleased, out of the fucking sky. And remember, we read the genealogy, so we left at the temptation of Jesus, where we left off. Where, we'll read it. It says, And Jesus, full of the Holy Spirit, returned from the Jordan, and was led by the Spirit in the wilderness for 40 days, being tempted by the devil, and he ate nothing during those days. And when they were entered, he was hungry. The devil said to him, If you are the Son of God, command a stone to become bread. Actually, we did read that. So, right here, Jesus heals a man with an unclean demon. So he went down to Capernaum. Jesus never stayed in one place for very long. He moved around. That's what people do. They go out and do missionary work, which is to serve Christ and speak of the love, to speak of the word, and to show people, teach people what it is that he's done for them, in whatever way, gift, or form, whether people like it or not. It's not for them to know. It's not for them to fucking do it. It's God. It says, And they were astonished at his teaching, for his word, possessed authority. And in the synagogue there was a man who had the spirit of unclean demon. And he cried out with a loud voice, Ha! What have you to do with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God. But Jesus rebuked him, saying, Be silent and come out of him. And when the demon had thrown him down in their midst, he came out of him, having done him no harm. And they were all amazed and said to one another, What is this word? For what authority and power he commands the unclean spirits, and they come out. Reports about him went out into every place in the surrounding region. Everybody was speaking of Jesus, like this dude just yelled at somebody and they just stopped being fucking stupid and evil. The spirit came out. It says Jesus heals many, right? And he arose and left the synagogue and entered Simon's house. Now Simon's mother-in-law was ill with a high fever, and they appealed to him on her behalf. And he stood over her and rebuked the fever, and it left her. And immediately she rose and began to serve them. He spoke and healed this woman. The energy, because he was pure. He was full of prana. He was full of air. He was full of God's essence, God's attributes. He believed in God, that he could have the power. Everyone has this power because God is in all of us. He blew his spirit into us, the Bible says. So therefore, we're all capable of being God, and we're all capable of being evil when we're given to that temptation. Because we ate from that stupid ass fucking tree. The plant that made us have a conscience guilt. It says, Now when the sun was setting, it says, all those who had any who were sick with them, various diseases brought them to him. So everybody, just anybody that thought they had problems, they came to Jesus. And he laid hands on every one of them and healed them. And demons also came out of many, crying, You are the Son of God. But he rebuked them and would not allow them to speak because they knew that he was the Christ. It says, Jesus preaches in synagogues. And when it was day, he departed and went into a desolate place. And the people sought him, they were looking for him, and came to him and would have kept him from leaving them. But he said to them, I must preach the good news of the kingdom of God to other towns as well, for I was sent for this purpose. And he was preaching in the synagogues all over Judea, everywhere. Because people are selfish, and they always want everybody to themselves, stay with me, they want attention. Because they didn't get it when they were a kid. Everybody wants attention. That's why they fucking glorify themselves and do all the bullshit that they do, and lie, and cheat, and steal, and everyone does it. So it says, Jesus calls the first disciples, chapter 5. On one occasion, let me see what time it is, hold on. An hour. I'm gonna read this one. I think it's gonna last for it's gonna cut off in about 5 minutes. So I'll read to chapter 6 real quick. Hopefully it doesn't cut out. I apologize if it cuts out. It says, Jesus calls the first disciples. On one occasion, while the crowd was pressing in on him to hear the word of God, he was standing by the lake of Gennesaret, and he saw 2 boats by the lake, but the fishermen had gone out of them and were washing their nets. Getting into one of the boats, which was Simon's, he asked him to put out a little from the land. And he sat down and taught the people from the boat. He went down away so people wouldn't overcrowd him. There's so many people, they want to touch him, all that stuff, And he sat down and taught the people from the boat. And when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, Put out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. And Simon answered, Master, we toiled all night and took nothing, but at your word I will let down the nets. And when they had done this, they enclosed a large number of fish, and their nets were breaking. They signaled to their partners in the other boat to come and help them, and they came and filled both boats, so that they began to sink. But when Simon Peter saw it, he fell down at Jesus' knees, saying, Depart from me, for I am a sinful man, O Lord. For he and all who were with him were astonished at the catch of fish that they had taken. And also were James and John, sons of Zebedee, who were partners with Simon. And Jesus said to Simon, Do not be afraid, for now on you will be catching men. And when they had brought their boats to land, they left everything and followed him. It says, Jesus cleanses a leper. While he was in one of the cities, there came a man full of leprosy. And when he saw Jesus, he fell on his face and begged him, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus stretched out his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be clean. And immediately the leprosy left him. And he charged him to tell no one, but go and show yourself to the priest, and make an offering for your cleansing, as Moses commanded, for a proof to them. But now even more, the report about him went abroad, and great crowds gathered to hear him and to be healed of their infirmities. But he would withdraw to desolate places and pray, to meditate, to seek healing. It says Jesus heals a paralytic. Remember, healers got to be healed themselves, We all need love. It says, on one of those days, as he was teaching, Pharisees and teachers of the law were sitting there, who had come from every village of Galilee and Judea and from Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was with him to heal. And behold, some men were bringing on some were bringing on a bed a man who was paralyzed, or fucking carrying a bed, a cot with this guy in it. And they bring him and lay him before Jesus. But finding no way to bring him in because of the crowd, because there were so many people, they went up on the roof and let him down with his bed through the tiles into the midst before Jesus. They fucking climbed on top of the building, snuck around, got on top of the fucking building, bro, with the guy that's paralyzed, and let this man down through the fucking window, through the fucking